What's up, everyone? Hey, Ian.
Hey, Courtney.
Oh, I was listening
How
to
you
it.
doing?
Well, I'm good. Yes. Um, y'all, welcome to the Runners Club podcast. Sometimes I'm like ready to get into it before, we take a moment and just breathe and just say hello. Come on in, take a seat.
Y'all done been here. You know where you at. This is
You,
a decision that you have made about 65 times at
oh,
this
you're
point.
right. Oh my God, look at you. It is episode 65. Okay.
You feel me? Like we all know why we're here. I know y'all feeling good. I hope you're getting miles right now. But if you are in the car, if you are cooking breakfast, if you are pouring your coffee, we're happy to have you.
Yeah. And
That's
right. That's it right there. Yeah. And, me, your co-host Courtney, that's Ian over there, here for another week of the shenanigans. We don't have a guest today, but, we do have things to say. We're going to keep this one short and sweet, but our hope is that it entertains you nonetheless.
facts. I'm trying a different thing. Since Karen isn't here, I'm using her office. And so like I got like my mic. Wait, let me see if I can move the camera down. Can we camera down? Oh, no, you can't see it. Okay. I got the mic kind of hooked up to like this little stand right here. So it's like not on my person, but it's like right here. We're gonna see if this like really works. Because I like not having a microphone visible to the camera. I don't even know why I'm talking about that, but yeah. And no, okay, it is weird. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, your audio is a little weird. We probably should have figured that out before we started. But yeah, if you could just bring it closer to your mouth. It sounds like you're in a tunnel.
Oh, actually, it's not even using it.
Okay, that's why. I'm like, it sounds like a typical Zoom meeting, and it's not giving as far as audio. But while you figure that out, why don't we get? Oh, that's it. That's it right there.
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
Jeremy's gonna be like, he's probably gonna listen to the first part and be like, y'all, get your audio together, and then we'll be like, just keep listening for another 5 minutes, and then it'll be good. Okay, there we go. There we go. Shout out to the mics.
Tell me about yourself. What's going on with you?
We've already talked about the fact that I hit peak week. Now we're tapering. I think I'm going to hit the bike for the rest of this time between now and the LA Marathon because I think I overworked myself. I was being really stubborn and just like worked through a lot of pain, like ran through pain, which I don't suggest to anybody, but I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. Cause I feel a type of way. Cause when I was training for the ultra, I felt pain. And then I was like, I'm not going to run. It hurts too much. And then afterwards, I'm just like, damn, you little bitch. you little bitch. And now I'm just like, fuck it. It's just a marathon. It's not an ultra. And so I was like, I'm gonna keep going. And it's like, girl, now look at you.
Yeah.
Now when you walk, it hurts. Look at you. A hot fucking mess. So now I just need to sit my ass down on a bike and pedal it out. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah. You still doing all the Pilates and everything, right?
Yeah, yes and no. I've been doing hot yoga. Like this past week, I just kind of felt a little defeated and like kind of was slacking on my recovery. Cause like I was on it with like the percussion gun, with the gua sha thing and the massaging of the calves and the shins and all that. But like I'm tired. It's a full-time job. Like I need someone else's hands to do it. Get somebody else to do it. You know what I mean? Like Lord.
You gotta get on the Karen plan. You know,
right. But Matthew be like, oh, your legs hurt? That's too bad. You're like, you know what I mean?
I need that energy because I got the strongest thumbs in the world right now. Like this motion right here, motion right here is like
check the YouTube for the visuals.
Yes, my thumbs can run a marathon right now. Like,
yeah,
let's fucking go. But
yeah, I feel that. I appreciate you for that.
That recovery, it is a full-time job, but it makes such a difference. I don't know if I've been telling you, but like my lower back has been hurting for months, and I'm like, oh, like it's just old age. It's just what I'm feeling.
What's happening?
right, like I'm damn 33, like relax, okay?
Yeah.
Uh but I've been speaking to like a couple different runners like Gabe, fucking Devin. And even talking about like how, it's like it could be the hips, it could be you need to decompress your spine. But
Right.
like I've been getting into using the ball like right at like the cup of the booty, like where the dark meat is at,
Sure.
right before the thigh.
Oh yeah.
And like so I've been getting in there and then like rolling the thigh out, but like putting like sitting on and putting like good pressure. And I've been doing that and like my lower back, I've been doing it for like 2 weeks and now my lower
Hmm.
back pain is kind of gone. But then also um uh okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell you. So also like
It's the
I
dark
be
meat for
talking,
me. I can't get the
I
visual out of my head.
I be talking and then I be like, should I share this as I'm talking? But me
Because
so
at this point, you're in your groin area. So this is
right.
where you're taking us.
Well, hold on. It gets more intimate.
Okay.
So Karen's back has been hurting, right?
Uh-huh.
And so we just like we just must got some tight ass hips, right?
Hmm.
So I was I I've been using the gun and everything. Basically, we just start massaging each other, right? And so, like I'm getting like the butt, I'm getting the thigh, I'm getting the inner thigh, I'm getting the outside thigh, like just really, really, really working that shit out, right? Man, like she just like kind of bent over the desk and we just going to town on the whole situation.
That sounds
And then
intimate.
we reverse. I'm bent over the desk and she going to town on me, right? It's like full shoulder
Bruh.
rotation cup movements, right? Like we are getting in there. But I will say that my lower back has not been hurting between
Mhm.
that ball hitting the compression gun in the same spaces when I don't want to do the ball, but then also like that intentional, like fucking massage me and Karen gave each other.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. But now the middle of my back hurts. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck this
Okay.
is.
Wow.
I don't think the two are related and stuff like that, but I will say my lower back pain has been alleviated. And I do believe it is my thighs because here I am the last 2 days now that Karen has been gone. I've been taking like some extra freedoms with being like by myself. So I've been staying up late, getting up a little bit later, doing all that, and not doing these things that I've been doing for the last 2, 3 weeks. And I felt that little thing coming back.
Yeah.
So I need to get back on the recovery. Recovery changes your life.
It does. I mean, it's like you should be spending just as much time recovering as you do running. Um, and that's a lot. That's like then that's all the time. That's all the time. I don't have no more time in my life. That's how it feels most of the time.
And then wait, then you add mobility, which is
And
a
I
whole
mean,
nother fucking thing.
yeah, I guess I put that all in the same like for me that's like all under the same umbrella. There's like and then like strength is in its own thing. It's like strength, I guess strength and running is a thing that like stresses your body and then everything like under recovery to me is like mobility and
Yeah.
rest and like yeah, you have to make hydration, the fucking stretching, all of that.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
50-50.
Y'all, we are choosing a wild ass life.
Why?
Okay. Like I don't know. I don't
Because it's
know.
life.
I don't know why this life chose
Because running is life.
me. But what else? What else is going on? I interrupted. What else is going on?
Nothing. I mean, you tell me. That's it. Like that's what's going on in the realm of running for me.
It's peak week for you though.
That's what I'm saying. I already did it.
Okay,
That was
yeah,
like
yeah,
2
yeah.
weeks ago. Um,
Oh, okay.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah,
because the LA
yeah.
is before the Speed Project. What's peak week for me?
Your peak week is this week, right?
Yeah, it is peak week for me. So I'm out here, oh, excuse me, getting these comfortable ass miles. I'm gonna do another long run. My long runs haven't been it's for the last 3, 4 weeks I've been talking on the podcast. It has been something happening on Saturday
Mhm.
that has gotten in the way of my long runs. And so I have only done like 10 miles tops when I should be up to like about 16 miles, you know?
I will say though that what's his face who always he's been posting the leaderboard from NRC app. You and me are at the
Yeah.
same mileage so far this year.
Which, first
Damn
of
near a
all,
couple mile. I'm a little above you just by a couple miles. So
yeah, yeah, P Dot be posting that, and I'd be
yeah,
like,
Patrick.
yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
You be putting everybody on blast. And the
right? I
thing
was
is
like,
I get self-conscious about it at first because like since I moved to LA, I've been following some like damn near sub-elite athletes out here, and I'm like, they gonna sneeze at my little 150-mile
I'm
da da da
shocked
da
that
da
I even
da.
ran that much. I was
Right.
like, what?
But the thing is
150 miles this year?
right, right. But to some people, so in my mind, I'm like, let me not post this. This is embarrassing because there's people who are running like 75 miles in a week, But then I'm like, but to a lot of people, that is a lot of miles. And and so I have to like change my perspective on it and then be proud about it because I'll be over here like, I ain't doing shit.
Listen, I love the Instagram accountability. So it's like what I'm
Yeah.
seeing is that the next time he posts this, I need to have more miles. I need to be
Right.
running more
The
so
motivation's
I can
real.
have more miles. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's because it's like, oh,
Here
okay,
we go.
P, I see you. Like you just putting us out there. Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm like, and now that I've been up there on that, because it's like the top 5, he only posts
Yeah.
so many. There's
Yeah.
only so many that can fit in the snapshot.
You feel me?
So I'm trying to just, yeah. I mean, the motivation is real. I feel like I need to. We should get like I should tell. We should get Gumbo Fit to do it. But
Right.
that's not what we're about. We're about community, and
Yeah.
so it's like it's not competition, but is it? I don't know.
It
Sometimes
is.
it's good motivation. It's
Yeah.
good
Big
motivation.
fact. Big fact.
Oh, also I figured out how to add routes onto Strava. And so like for Gumbo Fit, it's been really great to just like add our route for folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit's amazing. I think that's a good little run club leader note if you're trying to make things more
Yeah.
accessible and allow people to kind of see what's happening. Because the issue that we come across a lot is like people are afraid of the unknown. And so the more you can
Mhm.
make clear, the more they'll be willing to come out and like challenge themselves in different ways. And they're like, okay, I'm not going to get lost because I have this little map and route to follow and all is well.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I was it on this podcast that somebody mentioned doing that?
No,
Okay.
I think I probably mentioned it because I saw that Good Vibes Run Club Good Vibes Track Club out here in LA. They do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've found that it's been very helpful. And then also Girl Gang Crazy, who I've been training with, they do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, because I don't know
Okay.
where I'm at. I'll be out in the streets. Last week, did I tell you about last week me being scared?
No.
Because it was was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. Because it was peak week and we did the girlies, they did like
The
14
girls.
miles. They did. What did they do? Well, I did 15. No, they were doing 24 miles and they did 14 in the morning. We all did 14 in the morning and then they did an additional 10 in the evening. And I was like, I only got 20 in me. That's my peak. That's it. Like, y'all got it. That's not for me. Y'all got that 24. So I did
Take
15,
that.
right? And then I did 5. Shouldn't have done the 5 because I was in pain. Okay. This is an
Mm.
example of me. This is going back to me pushing myself too far. I was in pain.
Yeah.
But that last 5 was at night and it was out of Blue Ribbon Sports. And out here, that's the first Nike store.
Yeah, that
Before
is
Nike
the
was
first.
Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before Nike was Nike, it was Blue Ribbon Sports. And that is the first store out in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Cute spot. Now it's like a community center, like a place for community to be. And there's
Yeah.
like tons of like running memorabilia and stuff. And since I was only doing 5 and the other girls were doing 10, I was like, okay, I have to figure out what my plan is. And I was like, I'm just gonna go out and back. But from Santa Monica, there's like a bike trail. My dumbass was in all black. Like I just decided to wear all black, no reflection, nothing. Like
At
I
night.
was
This is
like,
a shadow running.
I think I was delusional a little bit because of the run earlier in the day. I was not thinking straight because I came home and I had all of like, I felt like I had no time. Like it was like before I knew it, I had to be out again and meeting up with them. And I was just like, I was frazzled. I'll say
Right.
that. And so I was like, let me just put on these biker shorts. First mistake, all black. Then it was a black top, black bottom. I was just like, and then I was like, it is dark and I am in all black in these motherfucking biker shorts. And I'm not going to be running with like the whole crew. And so I was bobbing and weaving. Cause there's a lot of drifter. They call them drifters out here. I realize, and it's like the
Yeah.
homeless community, but then it's like drifters because some of
Yeah.
them want to be out there, some of them don't. I don't know. It's very confusing. I don't understand, but they're
Okay.
everywhere. Okay, and I was like, and you don't know. I mean, no one's come after me. A part of me is just kind of like most of these motherfuckers out here. They're minding their own business. That's their house. Okay, that
Yeah, but it
tent
only
is their
takes
house.
one.
It only takes one, and then
Yep.
that one turns into the story and
Yeah.
the sentiment. So, but yeah, so I'm I'm a big girl, like literally and figuratively, like I'm
Yes.
5'9", I'd be out here big body, you know what I mean, like I
Okay.
like don't fuck with me. And then when I get scared, I'll start like having loud conversations out loud to make it seem like there's more people with me.
Oh my
So that if they
God.
hear me coming, they be thinking like I'm a stampede and not just my only lonely
Oh my
self. I'd be like, yeah, right. I'll start singing songs.
Get the fuck out.
These are my ways of deflecting. Okay. This is my what is it? Survival mechanisms. Okay.
Okay.
And so like, that was my whole thing, the whole way out and back. I didn't know where I was. Pretty sure I got off the route of where I was supposed to be a couple times, but I was just trying to get to that 2.5 miles so I could get back immediately. Cause I was not feeling it. Like I was in pain too, but so it was a lot. So I couldn't really stop because I was scared.
Right.
And yeah, it was an experience. So the routes on Strava is a great tool. Highly suggest.
I'm gonna let the story is.
That's
apps.
right. Use the apps, use all of that.
I like that. That's something like I was saying, like I heard it from somewhere. I guess it was from you, but like that's something I definitely want to add to 7 on Sundays. Post TSP. I just had a lot less on my page. We do have a website now, though. Yes, you can go to Run 7 on Sundays, spell it all out, run7onsundays.com. You can
Lit.
see you can see where we meet up on Tuesday mornings,
Lit.
Sunday mornings, and we also have a t-shirt for sale right now, with the prayer hands on it. You feel me?
Period.
So, go there, check us out, shop if you like. But yeah, just trying to build just like leaning in on these conversations we've been having here on the podcast. And like, I mean, these run crew leaders just have such a wealth of knowledge, like from between here and then the
Mm-hmm.
Run Club Summit. It's just like just getting hit with gems. And
Mm-hmm.
it's time to, I think what last summer I spent a lot of time, not a lot of time, but I spent some time in like kind of like a mentor teacher kind of role and stuff like that. Very quasi, like nothing super formal or anything like that. But I've been tapped for information. Whereas like in these last few weeks, I have been tapping for
Mm-hmm.
information and I've been receiving information. I'm ready to like start utilizing that 7 on Sundays, Last Lap, the Runners Club podcast. I've even started like kind of like looking at myself as like, oh, y- this is gig. It feels so dirty to say, but
What?
like, just like thinking of like as a brand also, and then just like kind of like using all of this information I'm getting to really like transform and take all of these things to like the next level.
Nah, say that.
Yeah,
Ain't
it's
no
weird.
shame. There's no
It's
shame in
fucking
that.
weird, bro.
I saw someone tweet about the fact that the Rihanna performance for the Super Bowl was literally it on every commercial break. When it's like, duh. But it's like, so it's the example there is like, nah, talk about your shit and use the resources that you have and like don't that's your brand. That's why, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Fuck it.
yeah, yeah. It's and I'm just a humble servant. That's all I want to be.
This is we're
you
here for
know,
y'all.
you
Mhm.
feel me? But
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Your boy got to eat. So we
As
out
do we
here
all.
elevating things and in a real way because it's like I said, these other run club leaders have a lot of information and doing things completely different that makes sense. And I really enjoy the lessons that I'm learning. And then
Mhm.
even our conversation with Sandy last week was like super, super dope. It's definitely something I need to listen to again 2 times. I wasn't expecting our conversation with her to like hit, you know, the way that it did. I thought it would just kind of be like, oh, hey, this is Sandy, this is family style. I kind of thought it would be surface level,
Mhm.
and it that was my expectation,
Mhm.
and that's not a reflection on Sandy. I just thought that that's just what it was going to be. But and that's what I kind of have felt like with other run club leaders. But I didn't think that it would get like so introspective, so like deep and stuff like that, and just talking about just making me reevaluate my intention in the running space and thinking about inclusion and thinking about inclusion. Uh, how do I put this? Outside of I don't know how to say what I'm trying to fucking say, but where it's not reflecting just me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I think oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I mean, I'm not trying to get in the way of what you're saying.
No, I mean that's just pretty much it. Just like have I thought outside of myself? Yes,
Mhm.
but like I said on the episode with her, like I'm thinking very African American and
Mhm.
Latino. Like that's what I'm thinking when I'm thinking black and brown. Um, outside of that, it's the LGBTQA plus community, really like, and that's kind of like it, and
Mhm.
I, like I said, I didn't think about, you know, I thought of Asian runners as something completely different, and then that also, even though I am thinking about how to be inclusive to non-binary and gay and trans runners and stuff like that, like, just reminding myself that it just reminded me that I just because I'm black and Hispanic, Latino, just because I'm black and Latino doesn't mean that I can just necessarily speak for everybody that I personally consider marginalized,
Mhm.
and that I even though I'm open and accessible to have these conversations, maybe I need to be more intentional in going to the conversations and just being open to those conversations coming to me so I
Mm.
can have more information to work towards,
Mhm.
to work with, I mean.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yes, I do. I also was thinking about that conversation with Sandy, and I have a little bit of a pushback on it. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Because and I'm starting it off with I agree with you completely. I think when we think about diversity, we have to think outside of ourselves. It's very important. I mean, this is literally the work that we do with Gumbo Media at large. I mean, we are currently working on a study alongside one of the biggest or the biggest Native American nonprofits, indigenous nonprofits. I mean, that's a whole conversation too of like, yeah, but like on just different communities and actually like who really is disenfranchised.
Hmm.
And and time again, I will say that like statistically speaking, And I was talking to Matthew about this too, because I mean, I'm not doing the project. He's doing it along with the other project managers that are helping this client
Mhm.
about like, when it comes to Asian communities, a lot of the time Asian communities come out either on top or even above their white counterparts when it comes to certain opportunities.
Yeah.
So, with that being considered, I think that is why we don't necessarily they and we don't always include them when we talk about, they're not the first that come to mind. I'll say that, not necessarily not included, but the first that come to mind when we think about the Black and brown communities. And when we talked about leadership and saying that there's a lack of diversity, I question what exactly she was talking to, because my team is all Black people. I'll say that. If you want to say that my team, and I'm taking it and I'm talking about it from a personal standpoint, because that's my point of context right now. But when I constructed my team of leaders, which has shifted a lot, I'll say, because we used to be just all directors, and now we have the directors and the captains, and now we've included a lot more Latinos, Latinx individuals, and our community at large is now inclusive of Asian runners, especially with our Wednesday runs currently, because it's up north in Chicago.
Mhm.
So there's that. And I shouldn't say a lot, because there's still a lack of inclusion there. I like, that's across the board. She even was saying that she's unable to really identify runners to even be a part of her own run club, right?
Mhm.
But I'll say that when I think about diversity and the way I think about it outside of myself, yes, I'm thinking about what is the focus within all of that, because I cannot focus on everybody all the time. That's just
Mhm.
impossible across the board. Like, I really think that that's impossible. I think if you're a large organization, sure, but we are small community efforts,
Yeah.
and we can only do so much. And with that, we have to work together to create a whole effort.
Right.
So
Facts.
I wouldn't, so if I were, so, and I, in an example, just in the inverse is, if Chicago was in the opposite, as far as like there was more Asian runners and Black runners, and I went to a whole bunch of Asian run clubs and there were very few Black runners around, I wouldn't expect them to appeal to more Black runners. I would take it upon myself to do and find that community myself,
Yeah.
because I don't expect them to understand what I need, quite
Mhm.
frankly, because they already have their own mission and vision of including and thinking about the vast variety of Asian cultures. That's a huge
Mhm.
job in and of itself. That,
Right.
you know what I mean? That many people have yet to really fully wrap their minds around. So that's a big job. So to then
Mhm.
also expect someone that is so far out of my community to then focus on including me is like, yes, make me feel comfortable. I'm not saying that you should exclude me,
Yeah.
but at some point it becomes someone else's job, because it is their passion and their
Facts.
calling. That's how I feel about it. And that's why I'm saying, like, even that's why I even brought up the difference between like 7 on Sundays and Gumbo Fit, right? It's just like we are both Black, into like Black led run clubs for the most part, right? And but then it's just like our mission, we're like filling different gaps, and we cannot fill each other's gaps. If that makes
Yeah. Yeah.
sense. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
and so I'm bringing it back, and again, like, just so that there's clarity of what I'm talking about, is that I think diversity on a community level takes many, not one. And that is good, because then you get not just diversity within one group, but you get like a multitude of diversity. Because in addition to this, and something that was not talked about at all, is what about the Native community? What about different sizes, shapes, and experiences within athleticism? What
Mhm.
about, right? And I mentioned, differently abled people or disabled people, depending on, like, that is something where we talk about diversity so often, and we talk about like how it needs to be more inclusive this way or that way, or,
Yeah.
like, but it's like there are very key communities that are always left out of these conversations. And
Yeah.
so it's like, don't tell. It feels a little, it doesn't feel right to be so absolute with certain statements when even when there's also just a lack of concern or even acknowledgement of other communities as well. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying, but I think that just I feel like that kind of leaves out the context of the conversation with it being um with it being about, family style and it being about the Asian runners and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't, just like what you said, like I wouldn't expect the conversation to encompass every single body.
No, but I'm saying the comments that were made about looking at other run clubs that talk about diversity and saying that they don't have diversity.
Oh, okay,
That's what I'm
okay,
saying. I'm
okay,
saying
okay.
she has a purpose and I am happy that she is there. But I'm weary about the comments that were made about other run clubs that claim diversity, who, according to her, don't have diversity in their leadership.
I can
But
see
it's
that.
like,
That's
what is the parameters? What are we looking at
what
exactly?
metric are you
What
using?
metrics are we looking at right now?
Yeah,
Because it's like
yeah, yeah. And then
the
that's also like a blanket statement. Like,
yeah,
what run clubs are you
who
talking
are we
about?
talking about?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I'm putting myself out there by being very honest with my like response to this. Obviously, we were digesting a lot in the conversation. I'm not saying that she was completely wrong. That is not what I'm saying either. But I'm just
yeah, yeah.
saying that specific aspect of it rubbed me a little bit, made me feel a little uncomfortable, I'll say, because because I too work in the realm of like diversity and inclusion and justice, quite frankly. Like that's literally what
Yeah.
Gummo Media is based on. It's like, exactly what are you pulling from? Because like what exactly, who are you talking to? What are we talking about? And if anything, like I said, when I first started my kind of this, when I first started responding
Mhm.
to what you said, is that like we are a full, like this is an effort of many, not one.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
you can only pay, like you only have so much in capacity and I only have so much capacity when it comes to the thought of diversity in the running space. Is the necessity is so great that you cannot put that on just one person or one group. And it's like when in actually they're filling a diversity need.
yeah, yeah. Because I feel like diversity and inclusion is something that's scaled. Like you can't just for like okay, so like the Run Club Summit that we had with CEM. There was the Black and Brown Run Crews. There was the White Run Crews. There was Sandy's Run Crew was there and stuff like that. And I want to say everybody had a mixture of leadership, whether it was uh racially diverse or gender diverse
Mhm.
or diverse from based on your sexual identity and stuff like that. Like everybody in the room was represented, but no run club had every single one of those represented in that run club in that room and stuff like that. Uh so I see what you're saying. Where like I feel like most of the white run crews that was in the room, there was like men and women who were in leadership roles. To me, like that's the level
I put the white run
of
clubs in a completely different, like I
but
don't, when I like,
what
yes,
no,
they
I feel
deserve,
like
they need to do more, but also like when I'm talking about black and brown people putting in
what
effort,
well no, I'm
there
getting
needs
there
to be
because it's like
focused.
I feel like yeah. So like that's what I'm trying to arrive to. It's like even that sense, right? Like it's low hanging fruit, but like
Mhm.
a white led run crew having a woman in a place of leadership is a form of diversity and inclusion, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you start. You
Basic.
reach, yeah, but that's where you start, and then
Yeah.
that opens the conversation, right?
Mhm.
Whereas like me and you are entering the space from from a more dynamic point of view because there weren't any black and brown run clubs in it in this kind of like space outside, Black Mirror, they kind of like different, right?
Mhm.
Uh so we create that, and then also from there we touch that low hanging fruit. We have women in leadership and stuff like that. Seven on Sundays, that because of me, there's black and brown runners in this, and then even now we have more Latino and Hispanic runners coming into the fold and stuff like that. But then we also, because we've been able to, and I like the way Karen put it, I said that at the Run Summit, like because our space is so unapologetically black and we make it comfortable for um what the most because we make it comfortable for black people to be black people and black and brown people to be authentically themselves,
Mhm.
it then makes it safe for everybody else to be authentically themselves and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And my reaction to it was to say, okay, well, this is what I've been able to do by having uh more more people in leadership roles, whether it's been Asian, whether it's been women, black and brown and stuff like that. Okay, well, can I step it up now? Because I've done this. This has happened, right? We got Karen, we got Rosalie, we got Simeon, we got Gabe, we got Angela, we got people in these leadership roles. And this started off with just three heterosexual men coming together or whatever is cisgender men, whatever it's called, starting this off. And now, we have a nice little color palette of different people coming from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, and different upbringings and stuff like that. Okay, so it's like now, can I take it a step forward and stuff like
Mhm.
that? Is there a way for me to make my space more inclusive for other sexual identities? Because that's not something I thought about when I necessarily started Seven on Sundays. Um, can I make it better, more accessible to differently abled people and stuff like that? And I don't know how to properly say that correctly, so I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But I feel like I can kind of like scale up the diversity.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I mean, like I think we're like very much on the same page. It's like focus is necessary
Yeah,
because if
yeah,
you in anything, it doesn't matter what you do, having focus is like key on like starting.
yeah, yeah.
And all of us are so new. And yeah, I
I
mean,
guess I'm agreeing. I'm definitely 2000% agreeing with you from the point of like A- and unfortunately, she's not here to like kind of clarify that statement. But if she was saying there's no diversity in these run clubs because she
leadership.
doesn't see Asian people in leadership, I think that's just a very thin metric to use to classify what diverse is. And I think it
Mhm.
does. I can understand your point of view, like that how that didn't sit right because a lot of these run crews are very diverse and becoming even more diverse as we speak. Like even it, yeah. So yeah, I completely agree with that.
It's
But
also
I didn't have
y
that reaction to it.
yeah, I
But
mean,
I will say, I
uh-huh.
will say, it was uncomfortable. Like I will say, like I was definitely uncomfortable and didn't know how to communicate properly because this is like a open forum platform, and I don't want to say anything wrong.
Mhm.
But what you were saying earlier, it was just like I don't want to turn things into like oppression Olympics or anything like that, but I was just like man, like I need to have more engagement and experience in the Asian community because maybe I'm missing something, because I'm like I thought y'all was good. Like I didn't know that y'all was included were included yourselves in the struggles that Black and Latino people face in
In the
this
United States, I
country,
mean, I
right, in the
think,
United
yeah, I
States.
think
So it's like,
colorism and
what
caste
the
systems is definitely like something, but
right?
it's
What
like,
am I
what are
missing?
we? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because like also the conversation was just like doing this wave between like running, like, is this a conversation that is running space specific?
yeah.
Because then, yeah, I can kind of understand some of these statements, but then, or are we talking about just general placement in it and like society in the
Yeah,
United States? Because then, I can see where the pushback is. Just like I don't know.
I'm
There's
not
a lot of
saying,
broad
yeah,
statements, and I'm not I
understanding.
don't
Lots of
have
broad
enough
strokes.
information.
Lots of
Yeah,
broad
I don't have
strokes.
enough information. I'm like, I came away from that conversation like, damn, I must be missing something.
Yeah. Right. Which, I mean, yes, I think we are. We definitely are
Mhm.
missing something because it's like there is more that we can do to support. That's why I asked at the end, like, okay, what can I do as a Run Club leader to support like the Asian community and like acknowledging Asian Heritage Month is
Mhm.
like things like that. Like, but even to her point, within Asian culture, there are literally different countries and languages and dialects
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. How do
religions.
you?
And it's like, so
Yeah,
that is,
yeah,
I feel like it's a huge target. And I'm like, where do I throw my dart to
yeah,
begin?
yeah, yeah. And
Um,
I think the just to once again just bring it back in and just make it clear to the listeners, 2000% support Sandy and
yeah.
Family Style Run Club and what her mission is and stuff like that. I think, well, not I think, but just for us processing that conversation, there was just and I think what I'm getting is like there were just certain statements that was just like I don't know if I fuck with that sentence right there.
Well,
Like,
right. It's like, well, that is why we had her on the podcast because it's
yeah,
like she saw a gap and she filled it because it was a
yeah,
need for her community, and that is like that is the whole point of like us. Our whole goal here is to support and celebrate these new efforts and just and long-term efforts from people within the community. We've done a really, I would say, good job of like showing that there is diversity within running because quite frankly for so long it's always just been like the white sport. And so
right.
like yeah, that's my whole point about this whole thing is like, yes, we need more people like Sandy, but at the same time, please do not come at me or us about how we need to be doing the X, Y, and Z when it's just like, quite frankly, sis, I have a lot to focus on as well in the
Yeah,
communities that reflect me a little bit more, and not just a little bit more, but like that it's like right now within Chicago, it's a very black city. Okay. It's a
yeah,
very segregated city. Okay. The blacks and the Latinos, like the Latinx community, they are first on they're up on the list because to her point exactly, it's not like we're saying no, like it's not like we're intentionally not trying to make it inviting. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I even when I first met her, I was just like, yes, come on, sis. Like you know what I mean? Like let's run together, whatever. It's
yeah, yeah,
always about, because ultimately at large, it's the black and brown communities that are my priority.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it started, but me as a black woman,
yeah,
like I want to also do something that reflects me just as much as her saying I
yeah,
wanted to do something that reflects me. That's what we're
yeah,
starting. A podcast,
yeah.
like the run club, our run clubs are so new. So then if anything, I would just suggest that it's like just I would, you know what I mean? Like it's one
Be
thing to be
careful with the
like,
way things are framed.
yeah, just
Be
be
careful
conscious
with how
about it
you
because
frame
like
things.
other black and brown people are doing really good things, and I'm not going to try and I don't support putting them down for putting in an effort and filling a gap and need within our running community.
Yeah,
Like that's the part where I'm just like, because diversity is a lot of things. And quite frankly, there are going to be aspects that are going to be missed or need more attention. And that is true. But let's not let's at least acknowledge that people are putting in the effort. and
Mhm.
and actually filling a need and actually being welcoming to a lot of people and changing the lives of a lot of people. And like that's the part where I was just like, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that's why I'm like, yes, yeah, come on, girl. Like, I'm here for the run club, like family style all day. I'm in support of that. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
like be like, well, what about this? What about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it's necessary. I'm not saying
Yeah, yeah.
everybody's exempt from criticism. I'm just saying,
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Hmm.
know,
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I think we both felt the same way and had different responses, but I do fuck with what you're saying 2000%. And I think it also helps me to process the way that I was feeling a little bit more um
because I mean,
in
even with you
in the
and me,
conversation.
even
Yeah.
with like the 7 on Sundays and uh, you know, Gumbo Fit, it's like, I don't like y'all are doing what y'all are doing over there. Y'all are
Yeah.
filling a need that needs to be filled over there. Like, I'm not gonna be like, well, how come you don't do like, like I each and I always talk about how run clubs are like different vibes. And
Yeah.
like you gotta find where your vibe
You
is.
you know what? Let me give you a parallel.
Yeah.
So so at the summit, there was a representative from Kara that spoke at the summit, right? And this person got up on stage, right? We all having this conversation about being more inclusive, how to collaborate, how to do all of these things. And now this is a room full of multicultural, multi-background, like run clubs. And this person gets on stage and they are like, I'm hearing all this conversation about diversity. I'm hearing all this conversation about doing the work. But it's all just talk until you actually out here doing it. I need us to actually get out here and do the work. You know, um,
Meanwhile,
wait, hold on. I'm getting there. It's like, and then they go on to talk about how Cara has these time races, these 1 miles and 5Ks every Saturday at the Park District. And, they talked about how the runs were on the west side and predominantly on the west side parks and the south side parks. It's like that's like talking from the sense of that's the work. That's what y'all need. Y'all need to be showing up. I need to see every last person in this room at one of these things. Like that's
what?
what it means to really be out here doing work. And it's like saying how you feel like, whoa, fam, like wait,
Relax.
like
Yeah.
that's not how you do this. Like everybody in this room here has been doing the work for the last like half decade now. Like, I mean, 3 Run 2 has been doing the work for a decade. Like that's not the way to sell this or to get us to come out to this thing. Because first of all, Cara has just allowed us to drink from their water fountains like a summer ago.
I don't
So
even be
like,
seeing where they at. Where they at? I don't be seeing them like that.
like
You know what
they
I mean?
just start coming south. Like they start coming south, but then they was like, "Hey, we here, but like, hey, don't drink our stuff." And then they was like, "Oh, now you can like, come on,
Oh,
like
like,
that's
but actually, right? You're speaking like literally, like from their water
yeah." Like you
stations,
remember, like car, you
from
remember
their
car
water
would not.
stations.
We would be out there for the long runs,
You're like,
and
this
car
is
would not let us drink. They Gatorade and stuff like that. And then it
yeah,
wasn't until the following summer that they started letting us do it and things like that. And they was
because they
barely
didn't know
coming
who we
south, like
were, what we were
slowly
doing,
inching south, right?
and
So
then
it's
they
just
see
like
what we're doing over there, and then they're like, hold on, wait a minute.
and the sad part was this was a black person who got up there and was speaking this way and
I
stuff
think
like
I
that.
know who
And
you're
I was like,
talking about.
I like, whoa, like I don't know if you truly recognize who you're speaking for and also
Hmm.
who you speaking to. Because
Yeah.
coming to us like we just all talk and not doing the work is wild. But also like you're providing a service. A
Hmm.
lot of us probably would have wanted to partake in and try to see, but just to go to show, like this person also stated that like I know this is all happening at the same time that all of y'all have your runs. So you want us to stop our runs to come and do this when you can't even acknowledge us in a respectful way.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Like come on, like that's like that was you want us to say fuck our community so we can come and make Cara look good. Like
Because you guys are doing what we should be doing, like How
what we
about you
already
come
doing.
over here and like,
Right.
but and to your
Show up.
point,
Where are you?
right?
Why are you coming? I have no. I don't know nobody from
Yeah,
Cara. You never
bruh.
come to none of my
Yeah,
runs. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I may have gotten an email once about something from somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but I ain't
Mm-hmm.
shook a hand. I ain't got a mouth,
Mm-hmm.
a hug, nothing. You know, but like you speaking like that because you have not been to any of these run clubs. You have not seen the work that they doing because what you would have understood while you were sitting in that room was you're sitting in a room full of people who are doing the work, and this conversation is about how to take the work that we're doing in our silos and build it into a network that affects the greater Chicago community. So to sit up there and be like, this is all talk until you show up to a car run, whoa,
Please,
like
please. Sorry.
swim down.
No. Yeah. No, that's exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, I would rather, I just want to allow people to do what they want to do as long as they're not hurting nobody, discriminating against anybody. Like, we all have good intention,
Yeah.
but also just like anything else, one club is not, it's not always for one area, one grouping is not always for everybody. And that I think is what our strength is. Cause then we're able to all come to the table and like contribute something and have diversity in perspective and experience as well. Cause it's
Yeah.
also about diversity in thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that was how I was kind of feeling, and like that's so interesting that you say that because that is really interesting. It's interesting to see where it's like it's only like considered or appreciated once you come to their playground.
Hold on.
So
What are you
was
doing? Hold on. Can we pause this real quick? Oh,
um
sorry about that, y'all. I had to be a parent for like 2 seconds. Um, but yeah, no, like that's that was wild. That was just, and I think the reason I brought it up because I think there's just some parallels. Just be like, let's what you want and what you're doing can be right and can be great, but be
mhm.
careful how you frame it. Be careful with the language that you use when
And
talking about
and
it.
be inclusive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
Facts.
I think the biggest thing that we can do, one of the most important things we can do is be inclusive of the way that other people do things. Cause like I think human beings have a habit of like thinking that the way that they do it is the right way.
Yeah,
But there's many ways to put your pants on. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Big facts. Big facts.
Um
Big facts.
uh
Okay.
so
Where do we go from here?
well, I had like a quick little share bit if we have
Let's go.
time.
Go ahead.
And because this is something that I got from one of the girls that run with Girl Gang Crazy, which I haven't used this yet, but I'm excited to use it because um it's just it's kind of like a cool little thing. It's called Sweet Sweat, which I guess originally, and you know, if you're watching the YouTube, you see it, but it's called Sweet Sweat, literally Sweet Sweat,
Hmm.
and it's this big stick. And I guess a lot of people use it, like you know, the girls that wear like the waist shredders or shrimp, like the things that they put around their waist while they work out to get like
Yeah.
to lose weight in their abs. That's what this is associated with, but this is not what we're using it for today. Okay.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
But we're gonna have to come back to that because some of
Wait.
us.
Actually, you might really like this because okay, look, this makes you sweat more. It
Okay.
make it and basically, and there's this diagram on the packaging that shows
Mhm.
like half of the body that doesn't have sweet sweat on it and the other half that does, and you'll see that the half that does has more yellows and reds and oranges, meaning that the body is hotter. You
Okay.
see that?
Facts. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's like the ingredients, like the main ingredient I think is petroleum.
Okay.
Yeah, it's petroleum. And it's and like wax and stuff. It's got like aloe vera, coconut oil, jojoba oil, vitamin E, and like so yeah, it's like all like natural for the most part. I don't know if petroleum oil is there, but anyways,
Petroleum is not natural.
okay. I was like,
You
I
will
don't
not find
know.
petroleum
Besides
in
that
any
first ingredient.
rainforest.
Well, I mean, like it might be extracted from something. I feel like it's made from. I feel like it's. I don't know. The point is, it you so okay. One of the girls puts it on her legs specifically, and it helps with blood flow. Because
Oh
a lot
wow.
of people, right? Like if you're not getting blood flow to your legs, right? You're not functioning as well. You're not getting as much you're not getting that oxygen. You're not getting what you need to like
Yeah.
your muscles to function. So
Yeah.
she will wear like her biker shorts and put this all over her legs. And now the other reason why I like this is it makes your legs look beautiful. Like because
Oh.
everybody would be like, girl, what you put on your legs? Because it's giving shine and sheen. Okay. It's giving
Oh.
glisten. All right.
Oh.
It's like it's something that I'm kind of obsessed with just from like looking at how good she looks when she's running. Cause I'm like, God damn. So it's
God
I'm
damn.
like, God damn. So and for me with my shins and like my calves and like I'm like, okay, maybe this is something that I should try because getting more of that blood flow to my legs is helpful. And then when we think about, for instance, like KT tape, right? That helps with blood flow. But like having this on is more attractive than having a piece of tape on my legs.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm looking it up right now. I'm sorry.
That's what I figured. Right. And so right. That's what I figured. It's so yeah, you put it on 20 minutes before or after it says you are not 20 minutes. This is the diagram is 20 minutes after exercise. Like you're just getting
So
more
you don't
heat
put it
there.
on during the workout.
You put it on right before.
Oh, okay. I see.
And then it
Benefits when-
stays on, right? And so like and you're not supposed to use it with any creams or lotions because then it can create a topical barrier. And basically it is pretty like moisturizing. Anyways, it says sweet sweat can also be used while swimming and in dry or infrared saunas. And so yeah, like it just and so you've seen those belts that people put on, right?
Yeah, the weight trainer joints.
The weight trainer, yeah. So they put this
Yeah.
on underneath it to help them sweat more.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but but then it's like, and I was talking to her and she's like, yeah, that's what everyone
Which
thinks
we
it's
do
only
not
for.
condone here.
No, hell no. Don't do
Do
that.
not use weight trainers.
Please don't. Cause like you need to breathe. Okay.
Facts.
Let's just start and end there. Breathing is good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's but she was telling me like the hack is that like actually it's just for raising your temp, and if you want better blood flow, this can help with that. And so I'm just gonna put out that they have this is unscented, but they also have like a tropical scent, a coconut scent, stuff like that. It says on the side, it says maximize your workout, sweat harder, sweat earlier, apply you have to apply it to slow to respond areas. So the areas that are responding more slowly or warm up a little bit longer, take longer to warm up, you apply it there. Make any workout feel better and then prepare to be motivated. And this is unscented. That's what it says. So that's my share. That's my little.
That's fire. I don't know if I would use that like during running just because I already sweat so much, but during weightlifting or stuff like that,
exactly.
I would probably definitely use that. From what I'm looking, y'all, this is not a fat loss thing right here. So don't think that putting it on some targeted areas on create like you're gonna lose fat in that area because you're putting on there. But I do like it for the blood circulation, promoting that because I mean that's how we get the fuel to our muscles. Like that's how our muscles get the energy that they need. So I am curious to know if like there's some not endurance benefit, but like just pushing that wall further back, right? Because your muscles, like when that lactate acid start to build up, you start feeling that weight in your legs and stuff like that. I'm wondering if that just happens a lot later if you increase the circulation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I mean it's meant to be a workout enhancer, and yeah, I'm gonna put it on my shins, on my legs, see, like, and also just imagine like your knees get it nice and toasty, sooner rather than later, like, them.
Back.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got.
Yo, I love that. I'll share my share next week. You feel me? I'll wait till next week because I gotta get out of here and talk to some people.
Okay.
But y'all, thank you. Appreciate y'all. Welcome to the Runners Club Podcast, Elite Edition. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share. Do all of those things, and just know we love y'all. We appreciate y'all for being here.
Most definitely. All right. Peace.
Peace.